welcome to the RCGP monthly show, which as yet has no name. First order of business, we need to come up with a name for the monthly show where we talk about what's happening in the month ahead, which in our case, this time, is round one of RCGP at S&B Speedway. Joining me is my colleague and good friend, Nick Damon.
Hi, good friend. Yes, Matt McCallum. Yep. So you can't call it the no-name RCGP video cast because that'd be completely out of copyright, and then Keenan get very upset. But no, we're only a month away, a few days away from the kickoff of RCGP season 2. Very excited off to S&B Speedway in the glorious United States of America, South Carolina. They have to point out there will be another one of these shows before we go off, even though they'll come monthly after that. Because we have a lot of things to reveal, which I can exclusively reveal. We won't be revealing today.
We're not revealing a lot today, but what we are doing is looking back at 2019. We're going to look at some of Nick's top moments from season 1, and we're going to be joined by some special guests in the form of David Ronefalk, Lee Martin, and Mal, the newly appointed race manager. Mal is going to be joining us at the end of the show to help us declare that the track is open, or at least it will be 1 month from now.
Yes.
So as you watch along, please feel free to comment and get involved. We want to hear from you, and stay tuned to RCGP socials, where all of the stuff that we can't reveal today will be revealed over the next month. So make sure you stay tuned. Right, should we get on with it, Nick?
I think we really should.
Your top moments for RCGP in 2019.
It was quite hard actually, because the whole because it's 2 years ago and my memory is failing, but mainly because it was kind of a whole season of highlights, and some of the things which I found particularly amusing. You probably couldn't report, and some of them weren't on camera, but I do have 3 remarkably different highlights which I want to highlight in my highlights collection.
Let's get Nick's highlights.
So, number 3, the second round of the championship, and very much a portent of what was to come for the whole season. That portent being David Ronefalk couldn't buy any luck, and it was the remarkable situation in the main final, in the second round, the hour-long final, of David's inability to have 4 tyres on his car at the same time.
It's crazy. It was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he lost one about 7 or 8 minutes in when he was going quite well, counting down Ongaro, lost about a lap. Some pretty spinny work from Adrien Berton changing the tyre, and then he lost another one and they changed it, and then he lost another one, they changed it, and he dropped down to about 8th or 9th, and then he had a ceremonial burning of the tyre in the pits at the end. Though I do kind of think it might have been more an issue with the person gluing the tyres than the tyres themselves, but don't want to put past it. But anyway, it was something I haven't seen in all the years I've been covering proper professional RC racing, and I won't forget it in a moment.
Just to mention, we know obviously who glued the tyres, don't we?
Well, David. It was either him or Adrian.
It was David.
This is in which case, therefore, he should hang his head in gluing. I think he was blaming a bad batch of glue, wasn't he? And in fairness, nothing had fallen off before, and nothing had fallen off since. So you kind of feel the slightly wrong wheel bond clear, whatever it was, and yes, you can see why it was a surprise, but it still didn't change it being remarkable.
I believe though he did change because he was sponsored by that particular glue manufacturer, and I think they did part company very shortly after that race.
It's and
don't quote me on that, but I believe it was
I won't.
So could be a connection there. May not be a connection. Who knows? That would have been a race where he could have stood a chance. He was doing well, and it all went wrong. And that happened again and again and again throughout the season.
Until he finally broke his run of bad luck in the 7th round, which is the double-legged final in the US, and looked like he was, this is it now. I've broken that problem. I've got that monkey off my back, until Mr. Monkey leapt and clung like a limpet to him on the final round 8, when he was a lap ahead. He had just lapped Davide Ongaro, going, "Ha ha, Davide, finally!"
This is the mother of all bad luck.
I know, he was a lap ahead. He'd lapped the whole field. He was showing over, and I can't remember. Was it the throttle servo or the steering servo? That one that it was receiver, wasn't it? The receiver went. Yep. Yeah, he just lost a bit of radio, just rolled to a stop, and Davide goes, Oh, another win! Oh, hi.
Shouldn't laugh.
In
Shouldn't
fairness, it was. I think at some point, I think possibly David might see the funny side of it. Possibly not.
Shall we find out? Shall we ask David if he sees the funny side?
I
Let's
think
see if we
should.
can try to get David onto this call. He's currently at the dirt. Let's see if we can get him in. He's talking right now. And here he is. It's David Ronnefeld. Hey!
What's up?
Hi, David.
Hey,
How are you doing?
I'm good.
You look really cold. It's almost like you're in Sweden.
Yeah, everyone is. I mean, I'm keep telling everyone it's cold here, and they say, yeah, you should be used to it. You're from Sweden, but yeah, when it's cold in Sweden, we're not outdoors. We go inside. But yeah, I mean, it's a little bit better today. Yesterday was really cold and windy at times, and sometimes rain as well. So today is better, and it's looking better for the rest of the week. So hopefully that would be it.
That's fantastic to hear. All changed for you. You're in a Mayarko tent.
Yeah, everything is new. That's why I went out here a couple of weeks early, just to get the time on the cars that I thought I needed before entering a big race like this. It was also the reason why I didn't go to the Montpellier race. And, when it rained out, thankfully I didn't. I came here instead, and I feel more than ready for this race. So it's all good. I'm very happy so far, and it's been a long couple of 4 weeks here. A lot of wrench time, a lot of stuff to test, go through everything. But yeah, I think we found a base, which is good, and I'm excited for the rest of this week here at the DNC.
Are the Mayarko guys looking after you?
Yeah, pretty good. My race engineer is here next to me. Joseph is here taking care of the guys, so it's all good. Enjoying it. Pretty cool.
Well, we're all here to talk about RCGP. We've been looking back at 2019, which was season 1. A great season for you, or would you rather forget?
I mean, it was like, I felt like I was close many times there, especially Philippines. I thought that was like my race. Had some bad luck there in the long endurance race. The sprint race, I think me and Davide was tied on points, and he won the last sprint race, which was the decider for the tiebreaker. So he got both of them there. I thought I had a good chance there. Then I struggled a bit in Europe at the two rounds we had in Europe, and then when we came over to America, I felt good. I'm very confident on those tracks over here, with a lot of jumps and everything. And yeah, the week at Thunder Alley was a great week for me. Showed great speed, and I won the sprint race, and then was pretty much dominating the endurance race before my receiver decided to stop working there with a couple of laps left of the long race. So yeah, I mean, I'd say I'm looking for way more this year than 2019. But yeah, it's racing, so it happens.
Obviously, we're not allowed to confirm if you're signed, if you're happening in 2022 this year. We certainly hope so. Would you like to take part?
Matt,
yes.
Do you not think his hoodie gives it away?
What's on his hoodie?
Well, what's the third logo now?
All right, whatevs.
Call me Sherlock Holmes of RC racing.
I didn't see that. Are you looking forward to RCGP in 2022, David?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And it's not too far away, right? It's the next month there. So I'll go back to Sweden after this race, and then I'll spend a couple of weeks there preparing everything, and then go back over to the East Coast for the first round of RCGP, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Can you tell me one person you'd like to meet on the track and one person you wouldn't like to meet on the track?
Person I'd like to meet. A person I'd like to beat this year would be Davide, of course. I'm not going to let him go with as many wins as he did in 2019. The guy I wouldn't like to race, I don't know. Joseph. It's better for him to be my race engineer. But it's easy now being on the same team, because usually in the past I always struggle when I came up to lap him. It was a struggle, but now he's on the same team, so I think it was going to be a little bit easier when he's moving over for me.
And do I spot Adrian just over your shoulder? Is that Adrian there?
Yeah, Adrian is over there, and yeah, you see this guy over here.
Who's that?
He's
right.
eating his baby carrots.
Has JQ put on weight?
It's lockdown. We've all I discussed this with you. We've all put on weight over lockdown. Honestly, I'm 15 pounds lighter. This camera makes me look.
We'll let you get back to it, David. Thanks so much for coming on. Are you looking forward to S&B Speedway in just over a month from now?
Yeah, track is looking great. I was talking to Cole Ogden here yesterday as well about the track and everything, and he said it's a nice place to go, and yeah, he said you'll enjoy it. So I'm really looking forward to go over there. I haven't really raced much on the East Coast at all here in the US, so it would be good, another experience to go up there on the East and meet some new people and you know, get some new friends, and hopefully I'll have a good time there.
I noticed you say Cole said that you would enjoy it. Don't expect to see Cole maybe in RC2?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay, never mind.
It all got a bit tense.
Yeah, all got a bit intense there. You've got a lovely tent there, David. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
good luck for the event, David. Good luck for DNC.
See you soon, David.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good, mate. Thanks.
So, David Ronnefelk, his bad luck, his reaction to his bad luck, his victory, and then his continued bad luck. From your highlight number 3.
Let's call it a most memorable moment rather than a highlight. It sounds like I was enjoying his
yes. Okay.
Which I wasn't, to be honest. Because obviously we all love all the drivers.
Yes. So number 2.
Number 2 was something which I had never seen before. Caused endless moaning and controversy. Was an idea from the aforementioned JQ based on his experience in motocross, and we only had it for the final round. It was the crazy gate starts.
It was weird because this is JQ's, the way the logic in JQ's mind works. People are driving crazy in these races. So let's make it more crazy so that they have to dial it down. I think that was the logic. Team Associated Scuderia Scampi Rosso did comment on RCGP's post that they weren't a huge fan of having a gate start with a 170-degree turn less than a meter after the gate start, which is a fair point.
I think it was 3 meters. I remember running around that track, doing my running around track guide, and it wasn't that far.
Maybe there was scale 1/8 meters, scale meters.
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
potentially.
Virtually more meters. Anyway, yes. So what they're basically saying is, let's not have gate starts in South Carolina if, for example, they were taking part.
Do you want to have gate starts in 2022, Nick?
Yes.
For
not
every
round, but one round. Okay. No, for one round.
One round.
We need to mix it up. No one should know till they get there what's going to happen. It should be some variables. The whole point. We've got to test people.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Come in, they're all settled. And then you test people, things like, how are we going to run the reverse grids? Are we going to run something completely different on the Friday? Who knows? May do, may not. What will happen? Don't know.
Yeah, there is lots of exclusive news coming from RCGP in the next few weeks. We are not allowed to tell you any of it. Contracts are being signed.
My head is so full of I'm so full of exclusive news.
Yeah,
I kind of think if you release it at one item per day, you won't have it. You'll run out of days.
That's the way it's looking. Yeah. Because we've got drivers, we've got teams, we've got race formats, we've got new exclusive race formats as well, with a special race. Special race? Are you allowed to call it that? A special race. But anyway, we'll get into that. Gate starts. They are your number 2. So what is your number 1 most memorable moment?
There could only be number 1. And that's when an RC racing driver finally admits he deliberately took someone out, because we all know they've done it on many occasions, but normally they just go, "Oh, no, my finger slipped. didn't work. But no, JQ just coming out and saying he was fed up with Leonardo Valenti, so he just took him off the track.
I'm not ashamed to admit I deliberately took him out. Yes, I did.
That's not really on, is it? That's not what we do in professional sport.
Well, the thing is that these guys do the same thing and say it's 50-50. What's the difference? Should I lie and say that, it was a mistake? No, I did it intentionally, and so do these guys at times.
And was completely unrepentant as well. Valenti didn't seem too phased by it either.
Having told the drivers, after Mao told them to behave and you told them to be dramatic, JQ was excessively dramatic. And then I loved your reaction on the live stream. Let's just watch your reaction. Right, that is the most dad reaction ever. You literally just told him that is not what a professional driver does, and how you were disappointed.
I wasn't angry. I was disappointed in little JQ. Let us down. He's just let himself down.
But then again, this is where you see flashes of the special JQ logic. People are too chaotic at starts. Let's make it more chaotic. People keep taking people out. I'm going to take people out to show them it's bad. That's the logic.
Yes, it's undeniable. Also, completely not understandable.
Yes. Now we have a very calming influence with us also on today's show, in the shape of Lee Martin, who's going to be joining us and talking us through his experience. He was at every round in 2019. And so let's talk to Lee. Welcome to Lee!
Hooray!
Hi Lee. How you doing?
Really good. We've missed you. It's been 2 years. Are you looking forward to RCGP, if you may or may not be involved this year?
Well, yeah. I mean, it'd be great to come back and do RCGP, and yeah, who knows? Who knows if we'll be able to do it or not? But yeah, it'd be great to be back out racing again after some difficult couple of years.
Yes, and a lot's changed for you since before. You were, of course, with Infinity, and now.
Yes, now Nemo Racing. Yeah, it's it all happened. But we haven't seen each other to talk about it. But yeah, the time of Infinity came to an end a little bit prematurely, but it did, and got an awesome opportunity to join Nemo Racing. So since then, we've been on a good program, developing some cool stuff, as the world has seen by now, and really getting our feet on the ground and getting ready for the year ahead.
And you've got the Nemo Raceway.
Nemo Raceway 2, yes. That's pretty much born because of lockdown. If we weren't stuck at home, we probably wouldn't have been able to build a track, especially in the time frame that we have. So, yeah, it's been awesome. It's been a lot of work at times, but it's great to have a facility and a HQ where we can go and try loads of silly ideas that we think may work.
There's something secret we'd love to say about Nemo Raceway, but we're not going to.
I know what it is.
Me too.
Casting your mind back to 2019, are there any particular moments that stand out in your mind for your kind of personal experience in the series?
I remember that I never finished a race, like a final. It was tough. Like, again, it was pretty tough for me because I was, again, doing the Infinity thing. I didn't run the same car at any particular race. I went from the first event, which was an RCA, and I ran a Mugen, I ran the Gamma, I ran lots of different things. So and that was true for the season for me. So at different points, I was running different cars and having completely different failures. And in the end, it looked bad. I'm like, I didn't actually finish a Sunday race, the long final for the whole series, but it was all just random, unique failures. So, yeah, I'm hoping that if we get the chance to do it again, my package is going to be a lot stronger. Just having the experience of a package. But yeah, that was my take from it. It's I never seem to get the rub of the green, shall we say.
Did you enjoy the sprint finals, or is that just more chaos for you?
Yeah, I probably did enjoy the sprint finals a little more because you got 2 runs. I love doing like 3-legged finals and having your best 2 results. That's the only problem for me with like the sprint ones. It was both your results count. If you had a failure, you were a failure ultimately. But it did throw up some crazy results sometimes too, with people having a win or a second and then a 10th or a 12th, which was kind of interesting. But I think to get a true winner, the 3-leg thing is awesome.
So Lee, obviously we visited 4 venues. We were obviously Manila, California, Italy, and Austria. Which is your favourite of the events?
So my favourite one was it was 2 really. I think the Philippines one, the first one was great. I think the track was pretty good, but it was a bit too full on, like jumps into corners and stuff. They just created a bit too many dramas. But the event as a whole was awesome. It felt like a big event then. When you turned up, that to me felt like the next kind of level. But in terms of weekends I enjoyed, the Italian one for me was the best one I enjoyed because I was on pace. I always enjoy going to the Asti track anyway. I always enjoy the layouts that get put down and the grip levels and stuff. I think they're good tracks to drive. So I enjoyed that one from my actual performance, let's say, but I enjoyed the Manila one for the whole event.
I personally liked how much you were all so angry about Austria. All of you were going, it's too fast, it's not fair. And I was thinking, have you not noticed they've got really good beer on tap? Stop moaning about the racing. Because the Vendler brothers are fantastic. We love going there. You go, that corner's too quick and there's too many accidents. Well, no worries.
There's beer over there. I always enjoy going to Ferring for that side of it. I think the people are great that run that track, and having cheap beer on site is always a winner.
Well, I don't let you a secret, but we're media, free beer.
Well, give me a job.
Well, you never know.
Anyway, Lee, it's been great having you on. Thanks so much for your time. Hopefully we may see you in a month. Who knows? Stay tuned for announcements.
Cool. Yes, thanks very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Lee.
Hey.
Thanks to Lee. We may or may not be seeing him in 2022 and in a month's time over at S&B Raceway. Let's hope we do see him as part of whatever team he's part of now. More exclusive announcements to come in the coming days and weeks. There's not much time left. And there's not much time left of this show, but Nick's rather fond of drama on track, falling outs. There's one person that has to deal with all those problems. And the man that has to deal with all that is Mao. Let's get Mao on the live stream right now. Are you there, Mao?
Yay!
How are you doing?
Hello.
Mao, you're over in Italy preparing for RCGP round 1. How's things going?
They were good up to the end of the year because the race was still far away. And now as the race is approaching, we have new tasks to do every day. We have to think about everything and to have everything settled up properly because, the first race is always the first race, even if it is not the first season. So we never know what we have to expect. And I just hope that everything will be good and we'll see.
Are you currently in the Mao Graphics empire? Is this where it all happens, or the magic?
Yes, it is. Thanks for the empire. It's as big as a toilet, but it's an empire for me. Yes.
I tell you what, it's as echoey as a toilet. That's for sure.
It sounds like a cathedral.
Yeah.
All good. So you've had 2 years off, where you haven't had to shout "the track is open" and deal with bad racers with big egos. How has your 2 years been away from RCGP?
Oh, well, high and lows, like everyone right now, because, COVID and everything. But I missed all the RCGP races because at least I think me, but all of us had fun. And even if it's stressful, we had a lot of fun, meet people, hanging out together, call for a lot of penalties, and singing My Track is Open anthem. So I missed it really much, I have to say. And now I can't wait to start again this new season when David told me that we can start a new season finally in 2022, I was really, really pumped. So I just can't wait to fly to US. It will be a bit boring flying with the mask, when all COVID's check or whatever, but unless we go in the US, so it will be magic for sure.
Absolutely. Going back to 2019, that first season, I guess refereeing any race is tough, but refereeing a new one with new rules and crazy sprint races, qualifying races, you had a really tough job in 2019, right?
Yes or no. I mean, 2 races, in my opinion, were really bad, and 2 races were really enjoyable. We had to set, yeah. I had fun. I have to say that in Manila and in America, I had a lot of fun, but in Austria and Asti in Italy, not at all. I don't know, maybe the European, but especially in Austria. But I think that the European atmosphere stressed the drivers a little bit more, and I had really tough times, and I had to fight with a lot of people. But let me know, racing is racing, and I'm still racing a bit or less. I'm cruising around the tracks a bit, but I know their minds, and I know that they are competitive. They want to win every race, and because of the RCGP formats, each qualifying is a race, so they are more stressed, more focused, and it's not easy to keep them, in a low profile. So it would be. It was a tough job, but at the end, not so bad at all. I mean, working as a minor probably is worse than directing RCGP. So I think so.
Would you
I
say
never tried, but I guess
some Go ahead, Nick.
No, I think the thing is, of course, Mal, but you've now got a new job, which is the Poison Challenge, because you're the race director, and the race director's been the talk of motorsport ever since last December. So much so that he didn't read the rules properly, he got fired. Now I'm not saying we get you fired now if you didn't read the rules properly, but just as a bit of a kind of a premise, there's a precedent set there, so no pressure.
Actually, I don't know. I don't know if it is actually an upgrade or a downgrade or whatever, or a punishment, maybe. I don't know. To me, will be more interesting because in the last season, I had to do both the jobs at the same time. So I had to make the race work flawlessly, be on the schedule and whatever. And in the same time, to take care of the driver on the track and blah blah blah. So I can be more focused on keep it more enjoyable and take care of all the all the shit that is going around, and there is a lot, but I have more time to be focused on that and less on the rostrum and taking care of the young babies playing with toy cars.
Scale motorsport.
Mal, there must be some drivers that make your life more difficult than others. Yeah, I see on your face, this is the truth, right? There are some drivers that make life difficult and some drivers that make life easy.
Can I guess?
You want the names?
I can tell you. Difficult, right? Number 1, initials MB, from your country. Number 2, initials JQ, not from your country. Number 3, initials JCC, not from your country. Am I right?
Juan Carlos Canal.
No, you missed a lot. Actually, you missed a lot.
Those ones I picked out from last year.
Hold on.
Now what have you done, Nick? Oh, what's this?
I think you might be getting some spanking.
I have my black book and I have all the names. So name some of the bad ones, or I will be killed from some Russian militia. I don't know right now.
The Russians are a bit busy at the moment. You're fine.
Yeah. Okay. No, I mean, okay. The Italian one. Okay, Marco is sometimes he's a great driver, he's a great friend, but I mean, sometimes when he drives, he's fast, and I think that sometimes he doesn't think that there are other cars on the track. So maybe he's racing in a ghost mode, like in in video games, and he forget that there are other cars on the track. Another tough driver that we had in Manila, nobody remember him, but I do, was Stinger. I had to fight a lot with him in Manila.
Yeah.
He was really, really, really aggressive and bad driver. Then Canas, I mean, just for the 2 rounds, a lot in Manila, then he settled a bit down. And JQ, well, JQ is not bad. He's just complaining. I mean, so he's bad for other stuff, but as a driver, he just complains a lot. And other drivers weren't happy about my decisions, for sure. But, as a referee, I mean, even in Formula One, they have thousands of monitors, 4 referees closed in a room, checking everything, and maybe even after the race, they are not able to give penalties or not. So, I mean, it's not easy. I have also to mention the good drivers, because there are also good drivers. The best one, in my opinion, has been McBride. I never, ever called for a penalty for him. He's really kind, really good, and a really nice driver. I mean, even Lee Martin, when he raced, was good, but not so good in Manila. But I mean, McBride is the superstar of fair play, for sure.
Wow.
For sure.
There you go.
Ongaro must be quite good. Ongaro, is he well behaved?
Yes, but he got a penalty along with David Ronefalk in Asti. So it's out of the game.
Okay.
I'm old, but my memory is still good.
Talking about Asti, we got to a point halfway through the season where you had to sit everyone down and have a talk about being a professional driver. Let's just take a look at that now.
I'm a bit disappointed because in the past 2 races, I had less call for penalties in the RC2 class than into RCGP. Okay, you may say they are slower, but they have not your skills in driving. So I think all of you are supposed to know how to drive and not to crash in other cars.
Mal, what's going through your head at that point where you're basically telling all the drivers the RC2 are better behaved than the pros?
Yeah, I was actually surprised because, I mean, from an RC2 driver, I expect that they are not so fast in driving their car, or they are not so fast in reaction when it's time to brake or crashing into other cars. But from the top pros, I couldn't expect nothing that the top driving style, and they didn't. They were so aggressive. They were so above the rules. They complain when I give penalties, even if they know that they did a mistake. So I was so frustrated, and let me say I exploded, and I say, okay, now I have to be the bad teacher and put them in a corner and tell them that maybe it's time to change, even because maybe they forget, but they are the main characters of the RCGP, and we need to have a good exposure of our scale motorsport, and they weren't doing their job for sure. Absolutely. They fight on the rostrum. I remember a fight between Boots and Barufol on the rostrum. Okay, it's good because dramas makes a lot of views and whatever, but I didn't like to see this kind of things on the rostrum, especially when I'm on it. And I know that may happen, but you also remember the JQ move when he pulled out Valente intentionally. Yep. But I mean, okay, but it's all about the rules, all about what you have to do and what you are supposed to do. Because if you ask, it's funny because they all want that I give penalties, but all thinks that they don't deserve penalties. So somebody will deserve penalties, but it's funny. It's never their fault.
It's funny that you were saying
That
that
surprised me.
in the meeting. Sat next to you was Nick, and it was hilarious because Nick basically said the complete opposite to what you said in the same meeting. Let's just get a quick blast of what Nick had to say on the subject.
If you've been told, oh, it's bad for the brand for you to look angry, forget it. It's great for TV. I'm not saying stage a fight. That's for season 2. I'm not saying stage a fight, but if you're annoyed with someone, tell us you're annoyed with them and tell us why you're annoyed with him. You haven't got to hold back. Political correctness is dead. If someone's taken you out and you're pissed off, tell us who took you out and tell us why you're pissed off, and if you're hopefully we'll have that accident. And then we'll go and ask him, why did he do it? And he can tell you, no, you're an idiot.
So, Nick, here's you saying, I was already told them to behave themselves, and now you're telling them, go crazy.
I was merely pointing out that we are an entertainment, and some of those things are entertaining. I mean, you only need to look back, look to that minor sub-sport Formula One. Why was it so popular last year? Because there was loads of beef and everyone was complaining and there were accidents. And then you get, more people watching the final race in the Super Bowl. It's the same thing. People need stories, people need action, and absolutely get them a penalty. And then they can argue about the penalty and then they can, great, good stuff, I'm just surprised it didn't get to Court of Arbitration for Sport, but I'm sure we can manage it this year.
So there you go. I mean, we've got the perfect balance, haven't we, of truth and justice.
Yeah, but
and hype with Nick.
Yeah, but Nick, I will invite you on the rostrum with me for a race. So you will. Please. Yes, please. So you will understand how the drama can be stressful.
No, I fully know they're entitled little bees. I've been working with racing drivers the past 35 years. It's fine, but. Now we have in our control the ability to see those reactions, follow those reactions, see how upset they are when you give them a penalty. We remember is, Matt, we never question your decision. We're absolutely fine with all your decisions. We just want you to have to make lots of them because there's been lots of incident.
I need some bodyguards for sure.
So looking forward to round 1. A little over a month from now, we're going to be in America at S&B Raceway. Super excited. Looks like a fantastic track. Are you looking forward to it, Mal?
Yes, for sure. I can wait because first of all, I want to test my stress level as my new downgraded or upgraded role. But then I can wait to meet all of the team, all people, and to start again this adventure because we are a circus traveling around the world. And I have to say that I'm really happy because what I felt and discovered is that, in my opinion, we were a really good team. We cooperate together and we had a lot of fun. And then meanwhile, we were protecting each other if we need during some issues that we had during the races. So it has been a pleasure to work with all of you. And I think that will be the same in this season.
Oh, shucks, Mal.
Exactly, yeah. Well, we'll let you get back to the Mal Graphics empire. But before you go, obviously, Davide was pretty untouchable for 7 of the 8 rounds.
Yeah.
Ronefalk's had 2 years to think about it. He's changed teams. We've got new drivers. We can't guarantee, because it's not been announced, who is actually going to be taking part. But say Ongaro and Ronefalk are there. Do you think Ronefalk will be able to do any better against Ongaro 2 years later?
Well, I mean that when you change a team, normally you gain a lot of motivation because you want to prove that you are stronger. But we also seen in the real motorsport that sometimes the new team is not supporting you as you need, or the new vehicle that you are driving is not as good as you think. We remember when Valentino Rossi went in Ducati, for example. But I think that this year we can see a really good match between them. and we'll see if some other drivers are able to put in between. I know that the new Mayako car is really good. David is doing good in DNC, but Davide is doing good as well with his old beloved Associated. So, I mean, it will be really interesting. And I think that this year we will see some, underdog that will please us with some nice races and battles.
Yeah, let's hope. Let's hope we just have a bit more variety in the champions for each round.
Yeah.
Mal, thanks for joining us. It's been great to have you on. We're going to see you
No problem.
next month in America.
Oh, yes. Oh, sure. I hope.
And then we get to hear you say track is open.
Yeah. May I say that now?
Yeah. Can you say it? Yes.
Okay. The track is open in 1 month.
Thanks, Mal.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mal.
It's been a pleasure. Bye.
Bye. Nick, what have you enjoyed this foray and trip down memory lane as we look forward to the beginning of the new season?
Absolutely. I've enjoyed it greatly. The only problem I've had is I've been having to think every single time I've said something, not to say something I know, which hasn't been announced yet, which I really want to tell everybody.
Yeah.
And there's at least 26 different things I want to tell people. So could you please get around announcing them so I can just stop holding them in?
We better end this show before we let slip something that we're not allowed to talk about yet. Stay tuned to RCGP. Stay tuned to RCGP.
I know where round 3 is, by the way.
Do you? Stay tuned to RCGP. We've got to end this show before we let something slip. As I said, stay tuned to RCGP social media. Everything will be revealed over the next 3 weeks. You will know everything we know and probably more. We'll rejoin ourselves on this show in about 4 weeks, just before we go to America, to sing us out. Shall we go back over to Mal for that glorious track is open?
The track is open in 1 month.